Okay, so in this video, what we're going to do is look at how to find the mean, variance, and standard deviation of a probability distribution, but this time using Excel. And this is something that I would expect everyone to do instead of just using the formulas and drawing everything out, writing everything out. That just takes a long time. So what we have here is a little probability distribution here, and just one thing to notice is that looking at my probabilities here, the sum is 1 for sure. In fact, if I just put in the sum function there, I notice that I get 1. So this is a legitimate probability distribution. Now we know that the sum, or the expected value of a probability distribution, is the sum of all the x values times their corresponding p of x values. So you notice I have a column for that right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an equal sign there, and I want to multiply this times this, which we know should be 0. And when we press enter, we indeed get 0. Now, instead of having to type that out the whole time for 1, 2, and 3, I am going to click on the first box, and this little handle right here, I am going to drag this down, and it's going to copy the formula down into every row. And there is x times p of x. And what I'm going to do is find the sums. I'm going to hit equals sum, and I'm going to add up those 4 numbers. And when I press enter, there is my expected value. So my mean or expected value is equal to whatever showed up there. So 1.7. Now for the variance, I'm going to use the alternate formula that I gave you in class, the one that says it's the sum of x squared times p of x minus the mean squared. Because I just think it's more computationally friendly, and it's easier to do here in Excel. So in the x squared p of x column, I'm going to just say, well, this is equal to, it's whatever x is squared times whatever p of x is. And again, I should get 0 because 0 squared is 0, and sure enough. And then I'm going to drag this down, and there's the values of all the x squared p of x's. And then I'm going to find the sum. So the sum of those 4 numbers. And once again, that is the sum of the x squared p of x's. Now, the variance, as we know, is, we'll put equals there, whatever that came out to be, minus the mean squared. And there we have 0.81, which does agree with what we have in the notes. And then we know that the standard deviation is the square root. So the function for square root is sqrt. And I could type that square root at 0.81, but I was going to say the square root of whatever is there. And that came out nice to 0.9. So that is how you use Excel to find the mean and standard deviation of a probability distribution. That said, there is another function you can use, and I'm just going to, well, what I could do is I'll just copy this here. So there's a probability distribution again. There is another function called SumProduct. And what that does is it takes 2 lists of numbers. So I'm just going to, select the first list and then put a comma and then put a second list. And what it does is it's going to multiply all the corresponding entries together and then add them up. And what that should be is the mean. Now, it's not going to work for all of them, but at least we can get the mean that way. And you notice we get 1.7. So that's just an extra little tidbit for you, the SumProduct function. So, all right, that is finding all the ins and outs of the probability distribution on Excel. Thank you for watching.